Hello, Whole Woman listeners, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Whole Woman podcast. My name's Kim,
And I'm Rachel.
and today we are going to set you up for a two-part series. Rachel and I are going to talk about travel today. And next week, we are going to bring you an amazing interview with, I don't know, maybe someone super secret and super special and super helpful. Yeah. You just have to wait and find out. But we're super excited. Obviously, I've said super now 5 times in less
You
than 30
have.
seconds.
You have.
So
Well, guess what? I am super excited to see your beautiful face today. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't seen you for a minute.
I know, I know. Listeners, just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, we power record so we can spend long afternoons together being besties and talking about all the things in life. But then, life. Rachel's building business and I'm trying to do the same. And so I haven't seen you for like weeks.
I know. Welcome back together.
I know, right. And so maybe we should daydream about that trip that, that girls trip that we want to take one day soon, right? All talking about travel.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, so let's dive in.
Okay.
All right. Tell me about the best trip ever.
The best trip ever so far is my 5-year anniversary trip to Sevilla, Spain with my honey bunny. I loved that part of Spain. That was my second time to Spain, but first time in that region, which is the Andalusia region. And I have to be honest, I have never felt so connected to my heritage before than when I went to that part of Spain. It just like people looked like me, like I could see like in some of the older women like the reflections of my grandmother. It was just so special. I felt super connected, but I also felt like that was some of the most fun we've ever had together, exploring this part of the country, eating food. We were just, I think, both so open to the experience that it was just nonstop amazing.
I love that. I too have been to Sevilla, but
Hmm.
I was with 40, 17-year-olds and their moms. And it was incredible. I just remember feeling a part of something when I was there, even though it's not my heritage. It was such a special place. It's a
Right.
great trip. I love that. I think for me, um, I love Costa Rica, and I've been several times. Um, some once just with Jeff, a couple times with the kids, but Jeff and I took a trip with his brother and sister and their spouses, and we did some more of like the adult things. Like we
Uh-huh.
went to visit volcanoes and hot waters. And I just remember sitting in the middle of this jungle. It was hot and steamy, and I was just surrounded by, I don't know, heaven. Just
Mm.
the most incredible and the most relaxing trip I've ever been on. And
Wow, that sounds amazing.
yeah, so well, very cool.
But I would love to hear what is like your bucket list trip. Like, where are you gonna make sure that you go in this lifetime?
I've been to Europe once, and like I said, it was with a bunch of kids, and I'd really like to go back there with my husband. My bucket list trip really would be to land somewhere on one side and to crawl slowly, whether in a car or on a train, across Europe and just
Mhm.
experience all the things. I mean, just the I don't know, I just so many things in my head, so many things that I want to experience because we're here in the United States and it's roughly the same size. But like when I cross from Iowa to Illinois, I don't enter a different culture. I don't experience really different foods or certainly not different, well, maybe some different slang, but not different languages.
Yeah.
And it fascinates me that all of these places are so close together and so interconnected in some ways, but so distinct in others. And
Mhm.
I just want to wander. I just want to wander
Oh
without a
my God.
care. Yeah. How
Well,
about you?
I love that for you, and I know you. You're gonna make it happen. Oh goodness. I have like three locations that I really, really want to go to. Two in Europe and one in the US. Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons is like high on my bucket list. I actually want to know if I can make it happen this year. I've already talked to our pal Chad about it, and he was like giving me all the upsides of going during the spring versus going the fall. And you know me, I'm a fall girl. So to be able to see those colors is probably like a once in a lifetime kind of trip. But I have always, since I was a little kid, I don't know why. I don't really even know much about the country. It just looks so gorgeous. Like must go to Switzerland. And honestly, I don't care if it's during the winter or the summer. It looks like it's gorgeous both of those times a year. And then I want to go to Prague. Prague just seems like a cool city. I see it on TV a lot, so I don't know if like they're filming there more, but it just seems like a really cool city.
My people are from that area.
Oh,
Like my
okay.
people, right? My mother is 100% Czech, and so that would be part of my
Yeah.
wander. I'd want to go back there. As you were talking about Switzerland, it popped into my head. The other one for me is really probably Iceland, and I want to be in one of those little huts and watch the northern lights like right in my face. I so want to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. I mean, listen, we could sit here and talk about places all day long and like the
Mhm.
cool, amazing experiences that we would have. And I think the interesting thing about being an adult and traveling, and I was very fortunate. My parents took me as many places as possible. I mean, I've been to many places in Europe, I've been to many places in the US, but I think there's something so significant about going on a trip with your partner, husband, whatever, your partner. It's just, I don't know, and I would love to hear your experience with this, but don't you feel like when you and Jeff go somewhere new together and you're experiencing it together, like it just strengthens your bond a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. I love, and we drive by car quite a bit. We have a home in Florida that we've talked about, and
Yeah.
there are a lot of different ways to get there. And so I just love stumbling on new places or new
Mm-hmm.
restaurants with him. A trip for us doesn't have to be intentional. Sometimes
Mm.
we just take a new route for whatever reason, and we've stumbled across some places that we intentionally try to make it back to,
Oh,
on
yeah.
later trips. So yeah. And I want to go one step further. Have you ever taken a trip all by yourself?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love that. It was actually really a part of my experience when I was really trying to find myself and
Mhm.
grow out of some old habits. I actually had a therapist tell me, like, you need to go on a weekend, pick somewhere,
Mhm.
anywhere, and
Mhm.
go by yourself. Don't meet somebody, don't go with anybody. I mean, she's like, don't not talk to people, but like,
Right.
don't go somewhere and meet a friend who already lives there. Like, go somewhere brand new by yourself. And I remember being so scared and I just wasn't sure if I was doing it right, like making the plans, but I did it. And I think it was such a growing experience for me that helped me learn how to be by myself and enjoy my own company. So,
Yeah.
yes, I highly recommend that every woman does that.
I know. Mine was kind of accidental. I mean, I had flown places by myself and then met someone where, at either end, or flown half a trip and then connected with someone and flown the rest of the way with somebody else. But we had a circumstance about 4 years ago where we were test running our snowbird situation, and Jeff and I had rented a place in Arizona for a month.
Hmm.
And he got called away for work, and I would have had to check out of the Airbnb because it was rented after us, and go to a hotel and wait for him for a full week to come back, for us to drive together. And I'm like, I am a big girl. I am in my 50s. I'm gonna do this. And so, like, I got everything all ready and cleaned the Airbnb and packed up the truck, and everything was all set to go. And I headed out really early in the morning to drive from Scottsdale, back home. And the easy way is to like just jog acrosswise, like through. through Arizona into New Mexico and hit the interstate and like go the ways I'd gone before. And I didn't. I headed straight north and I went through Utah. And my music loud, sometimes silence, and just like it seemed like every corner I rounded there was something that just took my breath away.
Yeah,
And then my husband's like, promise me you'll stay on the route, promise me you'll talk to me, promise me, because he was worried about whatever.
of
And
course.
and I saw this sign on the side of the road. And it's like 3 in the afternoon, and I really should just be getting to where I'm going because I always promise him I'm gonna land at my hotel before the sun goes down, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And I saw this sign that said Canyon Ridge, 15 miles. I thought, okay, took
I'm
it.
doing it.
I took
Yeah.
it. And then next thing you know, I'm on like these little like single gravel roads going through this desert
Yeah.
somewhere. And I'm thinking, what did I do? What did I do? Should I turn around? Where would I turn around? I'm gonna get stuck if I turn around. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden up over the top of the hill and the Grand Canyon opened up in front of me. And it was just like this small park on I don't know what ridge or what, edge of the basin, but oh my God, Rachel. And I
So
just felt
beautiful.
like this is freaking heaven. And all I could do was cry as I sat there and looked at it.
Aw.
And it's like when Jeff and I are together, we don't detour so much. And
Mhm.
so like it was a trip of proving to myself I can do this.
Mhm.
Um, but also just having an opportunity to be somewhere and not have to worry about, oh gosh, does he like this? Oh gosh, is he bored? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It was just beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh my God, that sounds gorgeous. Well, I'm so glad that you did that for yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's nothing like having an experience with another human being, but I would say that it's just as important to have that experience with yourself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, trips alone are fun.
hmm I wouldn't want to be by myself for a month, but 4 or 5 days was perfecto. So I'm curious, planes, trains, or automobiles?
I honestly am fine with all three. Like I think it's important to understand like what kind of trip are we thinking we want to do. And for something like we live in South Carolina to go to Wyoming and Montana, that would be like a long ass drive, right? And I think by the time you finally make it to Yellowstone, you're so exhausted. So it's important. Like, should we fly to Montana and then rent a car and enjoy it? Or obviously, if we wanted to go to Hawaii, we would have to fly. But there is something kind of cool about taking a train too. You just have to know that you have to like reach so deep inside for your patience because it takes twice as long to get there. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with all the above, but I think it depends on A, where am I going? B, how much time do I want to give the actual getting there and getting home part? And yeah, yeah. What about you?
I love the efficiency of flying.
Yeah.
Like, well, I kind of like the efficiency of flying. Like, I like the fact that when I get on the plane, 2 hours later, I'm going to be someplace far, far away.
Yeah.
I don't like the time I have to get to the airport and I have to sit and wait and then I have to worry because I'm a girl who likes to be in control, and when I'm in an airport, I'm at everybody else's mercy, and I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, I love driving
Uh-huh.
just because I there are places I've flown over I would have loved to drive through.
Yeah.
Um, I've not been on a train yet, and that's on my bucket list too. I want
Okay.
to go on a beautiful trip on a train. The other thing I haven't done and I want to talk about is a boat. Like,
Oh, okay.
so have you been on a cruise?
I've been on two in my lifetime and I will never do another one again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much humanity. I mean, you have to, like, all these ships have certain amenities, and you have to make sure that they suit your personality. And it's just like I went on one with my mom and my grandmother once, and the experience was lovely because I got to do it with them. But then the second one was with my honey bunny, and it's just, again, so many people, so much structure, believe it or not, on a ship. But I will say I have not yet done one of those European river cruises, and I would love to do that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I haven't done the big boat thing, a- and I'm not,
You're not missing out on anything.
yeah,
If you don't want to be, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I mean, I don't like big cities. And in my mind, it just feels like it's a big city crammed on a boat.
You
And
are correct.
yeah,
That's a great, great analogy.
yeah,
It is so much humanity. And then, especially if you get on one that's mostly families, you're like, no,
yeah.
no.
Well, it was on my list. And then my husband and I, um, we spent a lot of time in Florida, and we took my sister-in-law and her husband to the airport in Fort Lauderdale to
Yeah,
drop them off for a flight.
yeah,
And we made the wrong turn coming out. And so instead of getting back onto the interstate to head home,
yeah.
um, we turned and we went down like cruise ship row.
Oh God.
I had no idea how big they were. I mean, like
Uh-huh.
I see pictures and things, and I always thought, oh, that wouldn't be so bad. But I mean, they're bigger than hotels, bigger than
Yes.
like big hotels.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I'm like, oh no, no way, no way.
No.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm all about the riverboat cruise.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be
One
a
of
part of the
my,
dream trip to Europe.
yeah,
Like,
that would probably be a great way to do it, actually.
mhm,
Viking is a great company. I have my one of my clients in New York, she and her family do them once a year, but
mhm,
go to different locations. And she has not had, so this has been like 5 years in a row now, and she has not had one complaint. Not
wow,
one.
wow. Yeah, I've been checking out a couple of different vendors. I don't know, the cruise lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's Tauk too, and um,
There's who?
Tauk. I think it's called Tauk,
Okay.
Tauk.
Okay.
And they're like it's smaller. It's only like 100 people. And,
Mm.
and I think the Viking ones are similar sized, aren't they?
I believe it's like a max of 500 people plus staff. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, I've only been looking at the ones that are adults only.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I mean that's a trip of a lifetime for me, and I love kids, and I love my own kids, and I love my own grandkids, but I don't want to take the trip of a lifetime with other
With
people's
the
kids.
people's kids. Girl, you are preaching to the choir.
Oh, so I don't know. How many trips do you take a year?
You know, it really depends on the year, especially the year that we moved here. We didn't go anywhere just because we were getting settled and getting, I think going on, if you're going to go on a big, big trip, we used to just do that once a year. But now I'm toying with doing a handful of like overnights or a handful of weekends or 3 days. That's what I would like to do with this year because again, we live in an amazing part of the country, which I really haven't explored.
Yeah.
And so I did already book us like a little overnight trip to Highlands, North Carolina, which is really cool. It's beautiful, lots of waterfalls with a little town. So it's a little mixture of both. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I like to do that kind of circle of where can I go and drive in 3 or 4 hours so I don't waste the whole day
Yeah,
and, spend a long weekend and then not have to really work to get back home again. So I think
agreed.
we might do the same this year. Um, yeah. So the best and worst parts of getting there.
Oh my
Like,
God.
are you a planner? Are you a pack? I'm going on a trip next week. I'm like, I'm gonna throw all my stuff in my suitcase the night before I leave, right? Because, well, I mean, it's a like a casual writing workshop sort of thing. So, like, I don't need fancy clothes and lots of shoes, right? But I need all of my writing stuff.
Yeah.
So, so, but she's already started packing. And
Uh,
I mean, like, so are you a planner when you're
oh,
going to go on a trip?
Yes, I am. I always, well, let me tell you why. Okay.
Okay.
Because for the longest time, I was the shittiest packer, excuse me. And I would go on a trip and I will have forgotten this, and this. And then I spend my whole trip, oh, I need a jacket or I need a bathing suit or I need shopping. And I'm like, no, 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 we need to get better about this. So I definitely look at the weather of where I'm going.
Right.
I pla I hi, I pack for the weather, but I will always take something just in case for cool weather, like just sweats and a sweatshirt. And when I was, sorry, listeners, but when I was still getting my period, no, every single time I would go on a trip and I would start my period and not be prepared. So I would always make sure I packed my supplies, which thank God I don't have to do that anymore. But anyhow, my point is that instead of rushing around the day before or the morning of, because we always take early flights, I would rather feel good that it's done.
Mhm.
And I have to pack for another person.
Oh,
So, and that takes 18 hours because for whatever reason, he has to give me a fashion show for everything that he's going to pack. Oh, I haven't worn that in a year. Let me make sure it still fits. So it takes us a good chunk of the afternoon to pack him. So yeah, I make sure I do that a week before.
my husband would say your vacation just starts while you're still at home. Because what fun to spend together packing a suitcase, right? I
No,
think, well, I
no,
do the same thing. And Jeff is like, see, we're already spending time together.
that
Oh
is
my
so funny.
gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have things pretty set. I mean, I have like, but I think I'm better at it now that we spend part of our time in Florida and here. So I just have like this great little zip up case that's always got, shampoo, soap, conditioner, razor, extra contacts, all that thing. So I just have to toss that in my suitcase. And then um, there was a time when I wore only black before I knew about my season.
Yeah.
And but I also worried about, taking all the shoes, taking all this, taking all that. Now I'm just like, okay, I can dress up a little here. I can be comfortable here. I got great shoes in the middle, and I just don't worry about it quite so much anymore. So, yeah, it's something about going on a 3-day trip with 4 suitcases that didn't work for me.
God.
Right, right. Well, okay, so let's end this show with a little daydream. All right?
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
So if you and I were going to take a girls' trip together,
Hmm.
anywhere in the world, no logistics, no limits, where would you want to go?
With you, honestly, because we would just be like, want to chill and relax and have deep conversations, I would love to go on a lake vacation with you, like rent a cabin and sit by a gorgeous lake and have our coffee in the morning outside on the deck and talk, and then maybe walk into town and have lunch. Like that for me just seems like our perfect vacation together, or at least our first one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking similar, but not. Um, I mean similar for the same reasons, but like have you been to Carmel?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we stayed in like a little cabin there, but
Uh-huh.
it was down the big hill. You could see the ocean in the distance. And so the ocean was walking distance, but it was still that I love the being on foot and all the shops and the restaurants and stuff, just being like not a lot of effort. So very similar,
Yeah.
but that's so wild. Water, quiet, coffee, cabin, be
And
fun
food. Don't
together.
forget the food part. Yeah. I
Right.
feel like in the next, maybe not this year, but next year, we will definitely do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'm not gonna, I won't ruin it, but we're gonna do a show about our actual first real in-person meeting.
I know.
Because listeners, if you don't know this yet, we have never met in IRL.
No.
No?
No.
So that's coming this year. We're so excited to actually hug each other.
I know. I know, right?
Mhm.
It'll be fun. Maybe we can just record in person while we're together. Like sit side by side and just talk.
Oh my God, can you, with coffee, of course.
Of course.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Well, friend, I am super excited. And as soon as we hang up here, we're going to go right on to like the logistics of it all. right? I'm super excited. There it is, that word again, for our guest that's coming next week for our listeners and that you and I get to talk to in just a few minutes. So this is
I
going to be
know.
great. All right.
Why are we keeping this a secret from our listeners?
I don't know. You can tell them.
All right. Well, ladies, we have the amazing Patrick Smith. He is a pilot. He flies for a commercial airline. And we're going to talk to him because I know for me, I had such a debilitating fear of flying that it really crippled me. And I have felt like this my whole life. And I was going on a family trip to Greece last year that unfortunately didn't happen because of health reasons, but I did intentionally not want to go on this trip with that fear. And I had heard Patrick on another podcast, and he has, which we're going to talk to him about, he has created this beautiful website called Ask the Pilot. And you and anyone can schedule an hour with him and ask him anything about a plane, anything about flying, anything about anything that has to do with flying, planes, all the above. And I have to tell you that it was a game changer for me. It was so freeing to ask him all these questions and get his real life answers that we are going to talk to him about next week. So if you have never listened to our show, next week is the one to listen to.
Tell your friends.
Tell all your lady friends.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be good.
Awesome. All right, friend. Well, this has been fun. And
It
I
has.
can't wait to start planning our little vacation together.
I
And
know.
yeah,
I have
maybe
lots of lakes here in Washington. Washington. Where am I? In Georgia and South Carolina. So there's lots of lakes that we can choose from.
I love that.
Okay.
All right, coming up. All right, friends, we will see you next week. Until then, tell your friends, share the episode, and be happy.